In terms of the timeline, which is what everybody's so focused on, both the success rate of the vaccine and, of course, how quickly it can get out. Meg just talked about millions of doses come this fall. Is that late fall? Is that early fall? What are you looking for? What's going to be the trigger in terms of how quickly you'll know that it's working, even over, I imagine, this summer during the testing phase?
Yeah, thank you. Pfizer, in its contribution to make a difference in this devastating pandemics, has put in place plans for having the vaccine in millions of doses, as Meg so well described, by October. And the plans involve ramping up to tens of millions later this year, and with the potential for hundreds of millions in 21. So it's a very quick plan, as we now are dosing participants, healthy participants in US and Germany.
And in terms of how you would prioritize the drugs going out in October, how do you think that would work?
Well, this is a way of working, a new way of working, given the urgency here. So a lot of the work is done in parallel. The current study will be close to 400 individuals dosed, and up to 8,000 are planned over just a few months. And we hope this data will show an effective and safe vaccines, and combined with other data, make it probable that it would be of benefit to protect individuals. And pending regulatory dialogues, we are at risk preparing for manufacturing to help those in greatest need in the regions most effective, and then expanding, if things go well, to be able to have a vaccine of for the entire population in continents, in countries, and potentially globally.
Dr. Dolsten,
how much
time is thank you, Andrew. Dr. Dolsten, how much time is required to really be sure of the safety of especially a new technology like this and a new virus that we're dealing with? Folks have brought up that other vaccines for dengue, for example, have actually made the disease worse. How much time do we need to really observe the safety of this vaccine in people who do encounter the virus to know that it's going to be safe when deployed to millions of people?
That's a great question. For us, it's always the safety that comes first. And of course, we have put in place a rigorous way of monitoring it in clinical studies. But we do think this mRNA platform is unique in many ways when you face a pandemic of this size. It's very rapid. You can, in actually weeks, do what for normal vaccines take months. And you're able to redose multiple times because it's all a synthetic made vaccine, not using cells. So with this approach, Meg, we think that we will have several thousand, 3,000-4,000 participants and people at risk for the disease dosed in as we come to October. And we think if you combine that with the preclinical studies, that it has the potential to show good safety and probability of effectiveness in humans through early data. Currently the regulatory agencies are using emergency use authorization for a product that needs to move fast or accelerated approval. So I think from having several thousand individuals with good safety data, we could quickly move to tens of thousands, and that would certainly ensure that you have a vaccine with a benefit safety profile that can merit the broad rollout.
Hey, Doctor, I'm interested in the 4 different versions that you have. It's since you're using the mRNA technology, are you picking different stretches of the viral genome to express, like, I guess you're probably picking different genes that it would be expressed in the terms of a protein, and then you're seeing what the best response would be to which of those that you're using? Which ones, how many genes are there in the entire genome? Can't be that many in the short genome of the coronavirus.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We focused on the gene. The coronavirus has this genetic code, RNA, inside. And it's an envelope around it that's crucial when it connects to human cells and infect us. And on that envelope, there is sticking out what we call a spike protein. That seems to be the crucial. So one of our approaches is to have the spike protein, and the second one is to take the head of the spike protein where all the actions happens when the virus infects our cells. And these two approaches, coupled with a few different changes in the mRNA, I think gives us the really unique opportunity to cherry pick the winning format. Yeah. And choose the right dose. So that's the story. You explained it very well. You could.
Yeah. Thank you. And then the other thing, this doesn't seem like it would be a very long stretch of nucleic acids. That it's nothing like the way we used to make vaccines. You should be. How quickly can you duplicate that little stretch? What does that take to manufacture large amounts of that little stretch of messenger RNA?
Yeah, I think currently, since it's a manufacturing process that haven't been tried at this scale, but you need to remember Pfizer as a company have tremendous experience to go from small scale to hundreds of millions of doses. And we have 7,000 people in plants across US and the world that could do, up to billion doses in the field of biological. So, we will have to fine tune the manufacturing process, but you're talking about a number of months. That's why we're saying we're starting maybe around this period now, early May, with some early preparatory work before. We could have millions of doses in October, tens of millions end of the year, and hundreds of millions in next year. I think there are very few companies that have that experience and track record, and it's a unique team with a small cutting-edge biotech and a pharma with this experience and deep capability in vaccines.
Hey, Doctor, I had a geopolitical question I just wanted to raise with you, which is we learned just a couple days ago, or maybe it was just yesterday even, these days are blending together at this point, that Gilead Sciences, which of course is behind the remdesivir drug, that drug is effectively going to be controlled, at least for the short term, by the U.S. federal government. There's some concerns about that. And my question is whether the U.S. government has come to Pfizer and said that they want to take control of this vaccine, or whether you've heard that happening elsewhere, and how that would work, given that some of these studies obviously are taking place in Germany.
Yeah, this is a partnership with a German company, and, we obviously will have capability to manufacture the protein in the U.S. as well as in Germany, and be able to supply individuals at the highest need and in the regions that need it most urgently. We have very good relationship with various levels of the government and its federal agencies. I do think they understand that this takes tremendous experience, deep expertise that, you need to build over years. So I think having Pfizer lead it will, together with our collaborator, is the best path to success. And I think everyone realizes this is not something you do once and think it will go well. We are very skilled, but collaborate openly.